जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajakacarya Stotra Shat Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jadvaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Shamakun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mayapur Dham की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय संवेद भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौ प्रेमानंदे All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 30, The Gopis Search for Krishna, verses 14 through 25. I'll recite from 14 to 24, then together we'll recite 25. Text 14. Iti unmatta-vaco gopyaḥ kṛṣṇā-anveṣaṇa-kātarāḥ līlā bhagavatas tasta hi anucakrus tad-ātmikāḥ. Translation by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Having spoken these words, the gopis, distraught from searching for Krishna, began to act out his various pastimes, fully absorbed in thoughts of him. Text 15. kasyachit putanayantyaha kṛṣṇānyanti api vadstanam tokayitva rudatanya padahan shakatasyatim. Translation. One gopi imitated Putana while another acted like infant Krishna and pretended to suck her breast. Another gopi, crying in imitation of infant Krishna, kicked a gopi who was taking the role of the cart demon Shakatasura. Text 16. Daitya yitva jaharanyam eko krishnarbhavanam ringayam asakapiyam grihi karshanti gosha nishvanaya. Translation. One gopi took the role of Trinavarta and carried away another who was acting like infant Krishna, while yet another gopi crawled about, her ankle bells tinkling as she pulled her feet. Purport. The gopis started imitating all of Sri Krishna's pastimes, beginning from his earliest activities as a baby. Text 17. Krishna Rama iti dvetu gopayantyascha kaśchana vatsa itim hanti chanya tatraikatu bakayitam. Translation. Two gopis acted like Rama and Krishna in the midst of several others who took the role of cowherd boys. One gopi enacted Krishna's killing of the demon Vatsasur, represented by another gopi, and a pair of gopis acted out the killing of Bakasur. Text 18. Ahuya duragayadvad krishnastam anuvartatim venum kvanantim kridantim anyaha shamsanti sadveti. Translation. When one gopi perfectly imitated how Krishna would call the cows who had wandered far away, how he would play his flute, and how he would engage in various sports, the others congratulated her with exclamations of "Well done, well done." Text 19. Kasyanchit svapujam nyasya chalantaha paranano Krishnoham pashyata gatim lalitamiti tanmanaha. Translation. Another gopi, her mind fixed on Krishna, walked about with her arm resting on the shoulder of a friend and declared, "I am Krishna, just see how gracefully I move." Text 20. Ma bhaishatavat varshabhyam tatranam vihitam maya iti uktvaikena hastena yatanti unitadhe ambaram. Translation. Don't be afraid of the wind and rain, said one gopi. I will save you. And with that, she lifted her shawl above her head. Purport. Here a gopi enacts Lord Krishna's pastime of lifting Govardhan hill. Text 21. Aruhanya kapadakramya shirasya ahaparam nripa dushta he gaccha jato aham khalanam nanu dandakrit. Translation. Shukadev Goswami continued, "O king, one gopi climbed on another's shoulders and putting her foot on the other's head said, 'Go away from here, O wicked snake. You should know that I have taken birth in this world just to punish the envious." Purport. Here the gopis enact Krishna's chastisement of Kaliya. Text 22. Tatra kovacha he gopa davagnim pashayatul balanam chakshushmam ashva apidhadhvam vo vidhasya kshemam anjasa. Translation. Then another gopi spoke up, "My dear cowherd boys, look at this raging forest fire. Quickly close your eyes and I will easily protect you." Text 23. बधानयायासृजा काचित् तन्वी तत्र उलूखले बध्नामि भाण्डभेतारं हयांगवामशं त्वति भीता सुदृक्पिधायास्यं भेजे भूतिविदं वर्णनम्. Translation. One gopi tied up her slender companion with a flower garland and said, "Now I will bind this boy who has broken the butter pots and stolen the butter." The second gopi then covered her face and beautiful eyes, pretending to be afraid. Text 24. Evam Krishnam pritchamanam Vrindavan latastarun vyachakshata vanodeshe padani paramatmanaha. Translation. While the gopis were thus imitating Krishna's pastimes and asking Vrindavan's creepers and trees where Krishna, the Supreme Soul, might be, they happened to see his footprints in a corner of the forest. Text 25. Please repeat after me. Padani vyaktametani Nanda sunor mahatmanaha Lakshante hi dhvajambhoja Vrajrankusha yavadibihi Padani vyaktametani Nanda sunor mahatmanaha Lakshante hi dhvajambhoja Vajrankusha yavadibihi Padani vyaktametani Nanda sunor mahatmanaha Lakshante hi dhvajambhoja Vajrankusha yavadibihi
Padani vyaktametani Nanda sunor mahatmanaha Lakshante hi dhvajambhoja Vajrankusha yavadibihi Padani vyaktametani Nanda sunor mahatmanaha Lakshante hi dhvajambhoja Vajrankusha yavadibihi Padani vyaktametani Nanda sunor mahatmanaha Lakshante hi dhvajambhoja Vajrankusha yavadibihi Padani vyaktametani Nanda sunor mahatmanaha Lakshante hi dhvajambhoja Vajrankusha yavadibihi. Vaishnavis. Padani vyaktametani Nanda sunor mahatmanaha Lakshante hi dhvajambhoja Vajrankusha yavadibihi Padani vyaktametani Nanda sunor mahatmanaha Lakshante hi dhvajambhoja Vajrankusha yavadibihi Padani, the footprints, Vyaktam, clearly, Etani,
These Nanda Sunoha of the son of Nanda Maharaj, Maha-atmanaha, the great soul, Lakshante, are ascertained. He indeed, Dhvaja, by the flag, Ambhoja, lotus, Vajra, thunderbolt, Ankusha, elephant goad, Yava Adibihi, barley corn, etc. Translation and purport by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The gopīs said, the marks of a flag, lotus, thunderbolt, elephant goad, barley corn, and so forth on these footprints clearly distinguish them as belonging to that great soul, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary on this verse, gives the following scriptural information about the symbolic markings on the lotus feet of Krishna. In the following verses, the Skanda Purana states the particular places on his feet where Krishna carries the mark of the flag and also other marks and the reasons for these marks. Dakshinasya padanguштha mule chakram vibhartya jaha tatra bhakta janasyari satvarga Chedanaya Saha. At the base of the large toe on his right foot, the unborn Lord carries the mark of a disc which cuts down the 6 mental enemies of his devotees. Madhya Manguli Mulecha Datte Kamalam Achyutaha Dhyatra Chitta Dvirefanam Lobhanayati Shobhanam. At the bottom of the middle toe of that same foot, Lord Achyuta has a lotus flower, which increases the greed for him in the minds of the bee-like devotees who meditate on his feet. Kanishta Mulato Vajram Bhakta Papa Tribhedanam Parshni Madhya Anukusham Bhakta Chittebha Vashakarinam. At the base of his small toe is a thunderbolt which smashes the mountains of his devotees' reactions to past sins, and in the middle of his heel is the mark of an elephant goad which brings the elephants of his devotees' minds under control. Bhoga sampam mayam dhatte yavam angushta parvani. The joint of his right large toe bears the mark of a barley corn, representing all kinds of enjoyable opulences. The Skanda Puran also states, Vajram ve dakshine parshve anukusha ve tad agrataha. A thunderbolt is found on the right side of his right foot and an elephant goad below that. The Acharyas of the Vaishnava Sampradaya explain that since the particular feet under discussion are Lord Krishna's, we should know that the thunderbolt is at the base of his small toe and the elephant goad below the thunderbolt. An elephant goad on the heel belongs rather to Lord Narayana and other Vishnu Tattva expansions. Thus the Skanda Purana describes 6 marks on Krishna's right foot: the disc, flag, lotus, thunderbolt, elephant goad, and barley corn. And the Vaishnava Toshani mentions even more marks, a vertical line beginning at the middle of his foot and continuing as far as the juncture between his big toe and second toe, an umbrella below the disc at the base of the middle of his foot, a group of 4 swastikas in the 4 cardinal directions. At the 4 points where each swastika meets the next, 4 rose apples, and in the middle of the swastikas an octagon. This makes 11 marks on Krishna's right foot. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti describes the marks on Krishna's left foot as follows. At the base of the large toe is a conch shell with its mouth facing the toe. At the base of the middle toe are 2 concentric circles representing the inner and outer sky. Below this mark is Cupid's unstrung bow. The base of the bow is a triangle, and surrounding the triangle is a group of 4 water pots. At the base of the triangle is a half moon with two more triangles touching its points, and below the half moon is a fish. Altogether, then, there are 19 distinguishing marks on the soles of Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Verse once again. Padani vyaktametani nanda sunor mahatmanaha lakshante hi dvajambhoja vajrankusha yavadibihi. Translation. The gopis said, the marks of a flag, lotus, thunderbolt, elephant goad, barley corn and so forth on these footprints clearly distinguish them as belonging to that great soul, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Hare Krishna. May I please seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I have a question. How many of us remember what we just read? Very difficult. But we can see this chapter, this chapter is describing about the state of mind of the gopis, that how they feel tormented because Krishna is not present before them. They are not able to see Krishna. Krishna has disappeared. So they are feeling that separation. So they are feeling tormented by that separation. And it is mentioned in one of the purports that the gopis, their mind is fully absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. Completely. Very, very important point. How can we absorb our minds completely on Krishna? So because they are so much looking, searching for Krishna, that they start imitating his pastimes. Now what is the purpose of thinking about the pastimes or imitating the pastimes of Krishna? It's very simple. It's to remember the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Why do we chant in the morning? So that we can remember Krishna. So when they are imitating the pastimes, we read through all the verses, the different pastimes. First mentioned was Putana. So one gopi, she is pretending to be Putana, that demon Putana. And there's this another gopi who's pretending to be baby Krishna and trying to suck the air, life air out of Putana. So when they are imitating these pastimes, they are remembering Krishna more and more. Just like yesterday we heard this nice lecture where Prabhu was talking about, remembrance of Krishna. Just like Prabhupada says, that when the mother sees anything belonging to the child, immediately that brings about the memory of the child. So here the gopis, they are remembering Krishna by remembering his different pastimes. Another pastime mentioned is about Vatsasura. That was a demon in the form of a calf. Trinavarta, the whirlwind demon, where the gopi is pretending to be Trinavarta and carrying another gopi like baby Krishna. So many different pastimes. Forest fire, Damodar Līlā, Govardhan Līlā. So all these pastimes, thanks to Srila Prabhupada, we now are aware of these pastimes of Krishna. If Srila Prabhupada had not come to the West in 1965, would we be sitting here today hearing Krishna Katha? No. It is a scary thought to try and think, what would we be doing right now if we were not Krishna conscious? Very scary thought. So thanks to Srila Prabhupada, we were able to, progress in Krishna consciousness. So here the gopis, they are completely absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. Can you think of one devotee of Krishna mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, whose mind was also completely absorbed in thinking about Krishna? Prahlad Maharaj, complete absorption. His father Hiranyakashipu was so terrifying. He put Prahlad Maharaj through so many atrocities, throwing him from the cliff, putting him in the center of poisonous snakes, putting him in the boiling oil, so many different ways to torture him. Was Prahlad Maharaj disturbed? Was he running around, oh my God, oh no. Prahlad Maharaj was totally peaceful. Why? Because his mind was fully absorbed in Krishna. He was chanting all the time the holy names of the Supreme Lord. So Srila Prabhupada, he has given us this simple process by which we can also absorb our minds completely in Krishna's lotus feet. That is possible. But what is the main ingredient required? That is sincerity. Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 15, verse 15, Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivishto mataha smritir jnanam apohanam cha. He's saying, I'm situated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So he's giving us three options. So we can choose. So we should not do inamina mo and try and choose one. No. We use our intelligence and choose something that is going to help us progress in Krishna consciousness. And that is gaining knowledge about Krishna and remembrance of Krishna. So what is the purpose of Srila Prabhupada giving us this treasure house of all the books, all the translations? The purpose is so that we can take on this knowledge and put it into practice. Not that we hear from here and take it out from the other ear. Once my god sister had told me that, my complaint, I'm sure most of us have that same issue, is after the Bhagavatam class, we forget what we heard. How many of you? Be honest. We all forget. We even forget the first line that we start. We forgot all the verses that we read from 14:3-25. Kali Yuga memory. So I asked her, what should be done? So she said, it's very simple. She had heard that after the Bhagavatam class, does anyone know what needs to be done to remember the Bhagavatam class?
Eat prasadam.
Are you hinting I should stop the lecture and we can eat prasadam? That's what we think of, right? So she said, as soon as the Bhagavatam class is over, we should discuss what we heard with 3 devotees. If we discuss what we heard, then it is going to stay in our memory and in our consciousness. A very important point. So what happens when we discuss with other devotees? There is a churning of the heart. There is, there's churning of our consciousness, where there are so many points that we hear from other devotees that we never thought about. Have you experienced that before? You say, aha, I didn't realize that this verse and this purport actually could mean this also. Of course, Srila Prabhupada's purports are so simple and so profound that we don't need anything else. We just have to concentrate on his books. So here we can see that these gopis, they are in full absorption of Krishna, and so they are searching. While searching, they are inquiring. They are asking the creepers and the trees, have you seen Krishna? Where is Krishna? We want Krishna. I want Krishna. How many of us wake up in the morning and we say, today I want Krishna? No. The first thing we think is pet puja. What is there for breakfast? Then what is there for lunch? If we could get the menu, that would be so awesome, then we can plan our day accordingly. No. As soon as we wake up in the morning, the first thing we can do is, this is what I heard in a lecture, is thank the Supreme Lord for giving us one more day to be Krishna conscious. Offer obeisances to the spiritual master, to Srila Prabhupada, to the Parampara, to the Supreme Lord for this blessing of one more day. And then meditate, what can I do better today so that I can improve my spiritual life? So here the gopis, they are searching and they are inquiring from creepers and trees, etc., hoping that someone may let them know where is Krishna. Now the verse 25 that we recited together talks about the auspicious, transcendental marks on the soles of the lotus feet of Krishna. Actually, we need a few days of seminar to really understand all these auspicious marks. It's not possible to understand or talk about it in just a few minutes, but we get a glimpse, especially in the purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he gives references from Skanda Puran, and he tells us what is the benefit or what do we gain or what is the significance of each and every auspicious mark on the soles of the lotus feet of Krishna. The first one is disc. What does the disc do? It cuts. The disc is meant to cut. We've heard in Mahabharata how the Sudarshan Chakra cuts off Shishupal's head, right? It's meant for cutting. So what does the disc do for devotees? It cuts the mental enemies. I found that was so profound. Mental enemies. Mental means it reminds us of our mind. 6 mental enemies. What are those 6 mental enemies? Lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, and illusion. These are the 6 mental enemies. Rupa Goswami says, Adau Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya Anartha Nivriti. Anartha are these mental enemies, the unwanted things in the heart. So how can we get rid of these unwanted things? He mentions that first we need is Shraddha, basic faith. Now when we have that basic faith, then there is Sadhu Sangha. We associate with spiritually minded people, with devotees. And when we associate with them, we start Bhajana Kriya, which is performance of devotional service. There are 9 processes of devotional service, and that leads to removal of unwanted things from the heart, the anarthas. So here it's talking about cutting off 6 mental enemies. Srila Narottam Das Thakur, in his Prema Bhakti Chandrika, he identifies these 6 mental enemies, and he gives us an idea how to dovetail them in Krishna consciousness. Won't that be wonderful? We can dovetail lust, anger, greed, pride, all these enemies towards the service of Lord Krishna. So he says that lust, instead of being completely entangled by material lust, we can use that lust to become very eager to serve Krishna, that eagerness to serve Krishna. Now, how many of us feel ecstatic to wake up at 3 in the morning or 3:30 in the morning? Raise your hands. Simply ecstatic. Most of us, we have to be pulled. Thank you for honesty. Most of us have to be pulled out of the bed. Oh, Krishna, another day. Oh, Krishna, again cold shower. Oh, Krishna, again Mangal Aarti. When will this come to an end? Right? So, but that eagerness, how do we get that eagerness? Srila Prabhupada says that the solution is very simple. Attentive chanting. He says the whole Krishna consciousness is based on attentive chanting. When we chant attentively, then there is cleansing of the heart, cleansing of the consciousness, and then we automatically become eager to run to Mangalarti. Instead of 3 o'clock, now we want to wake up at 2:30 in the morning. Now I want to wake up at 2 in the morning. No, I'm not giving you a shock. You don't have to do that. But just that eagerness, to serve Krishna. What do we do when we come for Mangalarti? We serve Krishna by chanting, by dancing. The pujaris, they offer the paraphernalia to the deity. That is all service. So eagerness to serve. Anger. Narottam Das Thakur says that anger can be dovetailed by using it for those who are envious of devotees. If someone is offending us, if someone is being rude or mean to us or is causing harm to us, we should learn to tolerate. But when we see the same being done to the other devotees, then we should not tolerate that. Then anger is spiritual anger. That is to be dovetailed for those who are envious of Krishna's devotees. Greed. Greedy to hear about Krishna. The more we hear about Krishna, the more we will get purified. The senses will get purified. Just like Srila Prabhupada says, when we eat prasadam, it not only purifies the body, it purifies the senses, it purifies the finer brain tissues, that it can help us to understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is how we can use illusion. We become illusion if we fail in performing devotional service. How about pride? How can we dovetail pride to Krishna consciousness? Srila Narottam Das Thakur says we can do that by feeling proud to have the Mahamantra to chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. How many of us like to chant? It is so wonderful to chant and dance, especially amongst the devotees. And in Vrindavan Dham, all of you those of you who stay in Vrindavan Dham, you are so very fortunate. I keep telling my son, please buy me a house in Vrindavan. He says, no way, because then you will not come back home. So we are very, very fortunate to at least be today in Vrindavan Dham and hear Krishna Kathas. So this is how we can be proud, because we have the opportunity to chant the holy names. Chanting is very, very powerful. I had heard a very beautiful story in one of the lectures on the power of the holy name. One time in the kingdom of Lord Ramachandra, Hanuman was of course there. Narad Muni visited. And at the same time, sage Vishwamitra also visited the kingdom. So Narad Muni, he had a purpose in mind. So he told Hanuman, I want you to offer respects to everyone except the sage. Hanuman said, oh, are you crazy? Why would I do that? You know Vishwamitra, he'll get angry just like that. And he may curse me. No. He said, trust me. Narad Muni said, trust me. You offer respects to all, but not to Vishwamitra. And so Hanuman had a lot of respect for Narad Muni, so he followed the instruction. Guess what? As soon as Vishwamitra saw no respect given to him, he became very angry. How many of us, when we walk into the temple, we expect others to wish us Hare Krishna? Raise your hands. No, don't do that. I'm just joking. You see, that expectation is there. How I can get respect from others, which is not a good idea. So here sage Vishwamitra, he got very upset. And he told Lord Ramachandra, tomorrow I want you to kill Hanuman because he did not offer respect to me. Do you think Lord Ramachandra was disturbed? He was confused? He was upset? What do you think? Nope. He's Lord, the Supreme Lord. He knew the purpose behind Narad Muni's pastime. So, after everyone left, Hanuman went to Narad Muni. Now what? I'm going to be killed tomorrow. Narad Muni said, no, trust me. Just trust me. All you have to do is chant the holy names. So next morning, Vishwamitra told Lord Ramachandra, where's your bow and arrow? Come on, start shooting. It's time to kill Hanuman. And Lord Ramachandra, of course, he took the bow and arrow. He started shooting arrows. And what was Hanuman doing? Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. And Vishwamitra saw that the arrows, they were coming to Hanuman and they were falling at the feet of Hanuman. They did not even touch him. That's when Vishwamitra realized the power of the holy name. Because Hanuman is chanting the name of Lord Ramachandra, nothing could harm him. So chanting is very, very, very powerful. When we chant the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Those powerful sound vibrations, they go into the ear and they go straight in the heart and start cleansing the heart. The more we will focus on the holy name, the more we will concentrate on hearing the holy name, the faster there will be cleansing of the heart. So this is an important part of Krishna consciousness that Srila Prabhupada has given us. Srila Prabhupada also said that most of our advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on attentive chanting. You know, we read the 10 offenses that we need to avoid while chanting. There is one more offense, which is to not pay attention while chanting. So attentive chanting is the key to progress in Krishna consciousness. So then continues with the other auspicious marks on the soles of the lotus feet of Krishna, and that is the lotus flower. The lotus flower increases the greed in the minds of bee-like devotees. You know, bees, they go to the honey. So here, that is what this symbol does. It helps the devotee to concentrate the mind more on the lotus feet of Krishna. The thunderbolt, it smashes the reactions of all past sinful actions. Any of us have committed sins before? You don't have to raise your hands. We all have. Right now also we are committing a sin while hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Does anyone know how?
Thinking about prasadam.
That is not a sin. Thinking about prasadam is not a sin. What is a sinful activity we all are performing right now while I am speaking in your hearing? No. Breathing. When we are breathing, we are killing so many what? Little living entities. But we can't help it. We have to breathe to survive, to live. So what does the thunderbolt do? It smashes the reactions of all past sinful actions that we may have performed. And the elephant goad brings the mind under control. How many of us are struggling to control the mind? I am very sure that most sitting here, their minds have gone out of the temple room a couple of times since the class started. Yes or no? Yes? The mind goes, oh, what's for prasadam today? Oh, I have to do laundry today. Oh, I have to go Govardhan Parikrama. Oh, this, oh, that. But the elephant goad helps to control the mind. Mind control is a very difficult thing to do. And that is why in the Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna advises Arjuna to perform austerity of the mind. Austerity of speech, austerity of body, and austerity of mind. Now what is, the word austerity is a little scary word, which means we have to put in extra effort, which means we have to sacrifice some of the things that we like to do because to perform austerity. We are so fortunate. Krite yadhyayato Vishnum tretayam yajito make. In different yugas, the process of self-realization was much more tough. In Satya Yuga, one had to perform meditation for 30,000 years to become self-realized. In Treta Yuga, fire sacrifice. Dwapar Yuga, elaborate deity worship. Kalau tad Hari Kirtana. In Kali Yuga, we get the same benefit of other yugas just by eating prasadam. No? Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when we do that, then we are able to perform austerity of the mind. What is the austerity of mind? Krishna tells Arjuna, first of all, it is simplicity. Leading a simple life. Simple living, high thinking. But unfortunately in Kali Yuga, most people high living, simply thinking, which means not thinking at all. Not worried about what is the purpose of human form of life. Is it meant for self-realization? Or is it meant to eat, sleep and be merry? What is the goal of human life? No concern. Just simply living. Live by the day. Let's see what happens tomorrow. We'll face that at that time. No. Srila Prabhupada has explained to us simple living, high thinking, which means we lead a simple life, just take whatever is the basic necessity. And high thinking means read the Shastras. Srila Prabhupada has taken the trouble to give us so many books, a treasure house. So we need to read his books scrutinizingly. That is high thinking. Another austerity of mind is gravity, self-control, satisfaction. How many of us are satisfied with what we have? The moment we see others having more than we do, immediately the austerity of mind goes out of the window. It's like, I got to have that. That one has this, I got to also have that. There has to be satisfaction. Someone recently sent me, you get a lot of messages in WhatsApp, text messages. So someone sent me a picture of a gentleman. He was holding a newborn baby. And he was smiling and he was very happy. And at the bottom it said that he has 3 wives. Hard to take care of one. He had 3 wives. And that baby was his 60th child, 60. He had 59 children before. I know. Prabhu is doing like this. One child to take care is such an austerity. 60. Not only that, he doesn't end there. He says, I'm looking forward for more.
Wives or sons?
Huh?
Wives or sons?
Oh, I don't know. Wives or sons, I don't know. Maybe more wives, maybe more children, I don't know. You must have heard probably of, I think his name was Abu Bakr, I'm not sure, in South Africa, who got married 107 times. You read about him? Yes, 107 wives. Then he got divorced with 10 of them, so he had 97 left. He had 180 children. 180 children. No satisfaction, want more and more. But the austerity of the mind is satisfaction. Be satisfied with whatever Krishna has provided us. The biggest blessing we've got from Srila Prabhupada is Krishna consciousness. What more can we want? Isn't it blissful to just chant and be happy? How many of you agree? Raise your hands. Just chant and be happy. Chant what? Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola? No. No, what do we chant? No prasadam, no energy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So, there are benefits of even hearing about these auspicious marks of which are there on the soles of the lotus feet. Inauspiciousness is removed. Good fortune, increases. One gets knowledge, which, leads to realization, which leads to renunciation. So there are many benefits of just hearing about these marks that the gopis are talking about in this verse. So Rupa Goswami says that it is very relishable to hear about these marks on the auspicious lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And Prabhupada says we can also get that same relish if we sincerely follow the process given to us by him. Do we have time or do I have to end now?
You can take some questions if you want.
Okay, if anyone has any questions or comments. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. One point that you mentioned a little earlier was that the devotees, they have reluctancy to get up in the morning and to begin performing austerities.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the solution for this obstacle is that before you sleep at night, if you meditate on Krishna and you make plans for what you're going to do for Krishna tomorrow, and then as you're sleeping, your mind will be absorbed in thoughts of how you're going to decorate your deity, what kind of flowers will you buy, and you will be so excited that automatically you'll wake up early in the morning and you'll begin doing these things, and you'll accomplish these things, and your deity will become happy, and you will feel that you have been successful in serving Krishna. So the object is that Krishna says, always think of me. So it doesn't mean all day except for the last hour before you go to bed, where you're thinking of the comfort of your pillow. No, even before you go to bed, you're thinking, oh, tomorrow I'll get this flower. Tomorrow I will give these jewels. Tomorrow I will do this, I will do this. And then automatically your eyes will wake up early, more, not 2 o'clock, not 1 o'clock. You'll wake up early and say, now I can begin service.
Yes. Srila Prabhupada says it's good to, very important point, it's good to read Krishna book before going to bed, so that we can be in that consciousness. Thank you so much. Yes, a very good process to wake up early. Yes, Prabhu.
Gopis are pure devotees, so pure devotee always sees Krishna everywhere. So why was Krishna not present when they wanted to see Krishna? And it seemed by thinking about Krishna they went mad. So will one become mad when he becomes more purified thinking about Krishna?
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada talks about that, and that's a very high level, very, very high stage of pure love for Krishna. And that madness is different from the madness we have in the material world. Yes, very important point.
What a pure devotee.
But Krishna was not physically present, but
he was in the
I can't hear them.
Krishna was not physically present before the gopis, but he had never left. Because he was always in their hearts, and their eagerness to find him was intensified, and their love became stronger and stronger and stronger.
That's what Krishna said. The reason he disappeared was to increase their, eagerness and love for him. Yes, though they didn't need that. Yes, Prabhu.
First of all, thank you again for a wonderful class.
Thank you.
Very inspiring. One question that comes to mind is it's mentioned in the purport about the 6 different mental enemies. What does the Acharya say about illusion? How can illusion,
yes.
Brahma, how can it be doubted?
Yes. So he says that as long as we sincerely concentrate on performing devotional service, then we will not be illusioned. That illusion will be gone. Whatever illusion we may have, if we start failing, he says, Narottam Das Thakur says, if we start failing in performance of our devotional service, then we will be illusioned. Otherwise, if we are totally concentrating on Krishna consciousness, then that is automatically dovetailed. That illusion is dovetailed to Krishna's service. That is what Narottam Das Thakur says. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Mother is waking up early in the morning. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna, it automatically wakes up. Before time, mostly I have alarm 3 o'clock. I wake up at 2:30 or 2:45. Oh, I have to go. So the inspiration is already in most of the devotees. They have this inspiration. They have to attend this Bhagavad-Gita.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for that important point. Any other question or comment?
Way back there.
Hare Krishna. Thanks
Hare
to
Krishna.
Mataji for the wonderful lecture.
Thank you.
Mataji, we always hear that 99% of our spiritual life depends upon chanting. Can you please tell something about the service? That how should we have the service attitude? If we see the mood of Srila Prabhupada, he always says this, as his concept teaching movement, we are not depend on our more on Prabhupada has said us to just chant 16 rounds attentively.
Minimum,
yes. So, just wanted to know that chanting, how to balance chanting and service. Sadhana and seva.
Yes, so it needs planning. Like Prabhu was saying, to even wake up in the morning, we need to plan it. Just like, we want to fly, from here to another country or whatever, we do planning. Right? We don't just land up at the airport, and say, okay, now I'm going somewhere. So we need to plan. So similarly, we need to plan. What I personally do is write a diary. In that diary, I write down all the activities that I would perform during the day and figure out which are the activities that I can do away with, where I can save some time so that I can spend more in Krishna consciousness. So main thing is early in the morning, we must finish our chanting of minimum 16 rounds attentively, because once we do that, everything else will fall in place. Then if the chanting is attentive, then that desire to serve also increases, you see. And then when Krishna sees the desire from within the heart, then he gives us the opportunities, right? In Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stathama bhajami aham. So as one surrenders unto me, I reward them accordingly. That's the purpose. He's sitting in the heart to guide us. So as soon as he sees our sincerity and seriousness, both are required, then he helps us. And of course, we can take guidance from advanced devotees and, reveal our mind and say, okay, I'm having this issue or this problem, adjusting my time or to, balance out my activities, my seva with my chanting, and they can guide. That's the benefit of association, right? I hope that helps. Sorry? Yes.
So we all know that we're given a designated number of rounds that we should aspire to complete every day. And this is bhakti-yoga, which means the yoga of doing service. However, as one is doing service, it does not mean that they stop thinking of Krishna. So even while you're doing your service, in your mind you're chanting Hare Krishna. So this never leaves our consciousness. And so it doesn't matter what you do, because you're always thinking of Krishna, just like he says, always think of me, become my devotee. So we just chant in solitude our 16 rounds minimum, and concentrate on doing them offenselessly, and then we do devotional service, and this causes also tad-ātmikāḥ, the cleansing of our heart. So if we're going to the airport, why are we going to the airport? We're going to the airport because we are going to do service, and then it's the same as chanting Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Very, very important point. Yes, Prabhu.
Take one more.
One more. It's time. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the lecture.
Thank you.
Breeding and being sinful, how should I see it?
Sorry?
Breeding and being sinful, I don't understand.
Because when we are breathing, we are, intaking a lot of microorganisms inside, so they get killed, you see. But, Srila Prabhupada says that is necessary. We need to breathe so that we can live and so that we can do service for Krishna. So it is sinful, Say, for instance, eating even vegetables is sinful. Right? But when we offer it to the Lord, then He takes away those sinful reactions and we get prasadam to eat. So then it's no more sin. So when we are leading our lives in a Krishna conscious way, then that sin also gets nullified. Okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. No. Hare Krishna.